So I camped off of the Big Lake Youth Camp property and then came back through, and now I'm on the road out of it that connects back to the PCT. Oh my gosh, I made it to 2,000 miles. I completely forgot that was happening today. And I forgot that it was happening because I have something more exciting that is happening. My parents are coming to meet me at Santiam Pass, and I'm going to see them in like 2 miles or something. So I've been rushing to the road because I'm so excited to see them. But 2,000 miles! Ah! I am going to process that later. But for now, so I told my parents that I was coming through Santiam Pass, but it was going to be like 6:30 in the morning, and that's way too early for them. And they said, no, we're gonna go to Sisters and we'll stay the night, and then we'll be there at 6:30 in the morning. We'll see you there. So obviously my parents are the best, and I'm gonna see them soon. All right, there's Highway 20. And then it's just a little trail to the parking lot. Oh my gosh, my parents are the best. Okay, yeah, brownies, every single type of berry. These were blueberries, tomatoes, nectarine, apple, grapes, kombucha, every kind of drink I could possibly want. That one was so good. Okay, working on the Gatorade. Sandwich, getting rid of my old shoes, getting rid of this, and I have a new shirt. And all my resupply stuff was in there, and I've already gotten it out. Oh, that was too fast. Yeah, we only got to hang out for an hour. Mom's over there, and then I'm gonna get back on the trail and see you guys in a couple days.
Yeah, happy trails. Love you, sweetie.
Thanks, love you, Dad.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mom. That flat thing is Hayrick Butte. Then I'm leaving Mount Washington. Some little views of North and Middle Sister there. Oh, that was so much fun. My mom prefers to be behind the scenes, so you'll never see her. But she brought me so much good, delicious food. I just had such a good time hanging out with them. Should video my new shoes before they get all dirty. Right now they're looking snazzy. I've got, yeah, same shoes as before, but they're new. And then I got new gaiters with fruit slices on them and pizza, but I mostly got it for the fruit. Okay, and my plan for my shirt that's falling apart is that I've swapped it out for a normal sun hoodie. We'll see if I like that. I'll wear that for 4 days, and then when I get to Cascade Locks, I will mend my hiking shirt and start wearing that again. But it really looked like it was about to just start fully ripping all up the back and become impossible to mend. And I thought even 4 days might put it too far. So that's why I've got this hoodie. I just collected water from this pond. It's good water. You just have to go around to the back and then follow this log out to the deeper waters. I'm walking through a burn that's at least older than 2018, and the trees have had a lot of time to start coming in, so we've got some kind of biggish ones. This section that I'm on is from Big Lake Youth Camp to Timberline Lodge on Mount Hood, and it's about 102 miles or so. And my last big resupply section of Oregon, because Mount Hood down to Cascade Locks is just like 50 miles or so. And I've done boxes all the way through Oregon that I prepared at Ashland and sent them all out. But a lot of people back at Highway 20, where my parents met me, people will go into Sisters and Bend, which are both very cool little cities, great trail towns. I've been to them a bunch, so I don't feel the need to go there this time. And my parents brought me tons of food, so it's kind of like I got everything I needed from town out of the back of their car anyways. Coming up on the next exciting rocks, which is Three-Fingered Jack. And there's Black Butte. It's a very popular mountain near Sisters, and a lot of people from Bend will go out and hike it too. And there's a ton of smoke in the lower valleys, but the air is pretty clear up in the mountains. It's break number 2, and now I get to eat more of the food that my parents brought me. Let's have the rest of the sandwich, some brownies, rest of the blueberries, and these, they're from Fred Meyer's. They're one of my absolute favorites. I had my meal right next to this cool little bowl. There was a big burn here. Was this the Lion's Head fire? That one was everywhere, but here's sort of the border. Just turned the corner. There's Jefferson. Oh, I think I camped here last time. Right in there. Just rounded the shoulder. There's Three-Fingered Jack. It's really backlit right now, but Three-Fingered Jack has the most beautiful red strata, bright red lines running all through it. It is such a cool feature. Interesting volcanic rock down there. There's a ton of switchbacks going down this face. I'm looking at these little bugs that look like bark, but they also look like bugs, and I can't decide if that's how they are, or if they are like more like hermit crabs, like bark hermit crabs. Okay, that was one of the most fascinating and enigmatically entomological sights that I have ever seen. What were those bugs? Is that their exoskeleton? Or did they find the bark? Because they were moving around way too awkwardly, I felt, for that to look like their real body. Like they were really struggling to move, and it was just, their bodies were too long. But all of the bark was too kind of consistent across the bugs for it to be random bark that they chose. So What are they? Black Butte is connected to this really straight ridge that might be called Green Ridge because I saw something called Green Ridge Fire Lookout. The little tree islands back there are far too brief. Ever since Santiam Pass this morning, I've been walking through about 90% has been burn. Still see some of the mountains I came by starting to fade into the distance. There's Mount Washington. Are we not gonna? There it is. Mount Washington. And then Middle Sister on the right, North Sister on the left. Broken Top, I think. He's just sitting there. The volcano chicken carbonara is back. Well, this is very sad. These loaves have not been a winner because they were super dry. I think they just had gone stale. First one was stale, second one was even more stale, and then the third one is stale and has mold. So I could probably pick away at it. I think I'm just not going to. I just now have a moldy bread weight. But these, my dad said that my neighbor made them. Salmon teriyaki, maybe? Wow, that, I think he must have cured the salmon or something, because that, I don't know, it's perfect. It's really good. Had my meal here. It's Rock Pile Lake. Okay, it's now been almost a whole day that I've been wearing this store-bought hoodie, and I don't like it. The material is so clingy, and it just is so close to my skin. It makes me really hot, and I overheated today in the sun. And the hood is not nearly capacious enough for my preferences. I feel like it doesn't even shade my face from the sun at all. And finally, on a semi-frequent basis, this part of the shirt touches up here on my neck, which clothing should not do that unless I am very, very, very cold. So I very much miss my own sun hoodie, and I'm excited to fix it up and get back to wearing it in a few days. Jefferson has quite the cap up top. And of course, I'm going to be following that ridge right up to the mountain, but on the other side of the ridge. I almost forgot about my 2,000 miles again. I think 2,000 miles is my favorite milestone to hit on a hike. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it feels like it goes from being a big adventure to a grand adventure, or like the 2,000 miles catapults the adventure into the next level of adventuriness, or that's when it finally starts feeling like a truly epic journey. And I did the math earlier. I've kept really good track of my real miles, not just my PCT miles hiked. And I added up everything that I've hiked so far, and it's more than the PCT miles. So even with my fire closure reroutes that were shorter, I've done enough extra stuff like going over Kearsarge and going up Whitney and some long water carries and side trails and things. But yeah, I have more than the PCT mile marker says. So I get to fully celebrate the 2,000 miles. Here's my dinner spot. The place where I ate dinner was in the Shale Lake area, and there's no camping there unless you have a specific permit. So I'm just going 0.8 away from there and just past this sign to the area that I'm allowed to camp in.